Hi everyone, it's Jen here from Tarot Spirit. I decided to do well, I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, a summer solstice or a solstice reading, wherever you are, to try to look ahead, sort of what's coming up in the next 6 months or so. I'm actually going to read, I'm doing a horoscope spread. So I'm not an astrologer, so I am going to read out of a book exactly what each house represents so I don't screw it up. Let's see, this is the book. Tons of spreads in this book, in the back of this book. Okay, and I decided to use 2 decks just to give it a little more depth. So we're going to start out with the first house. And the first house is about beginnings, about your personality, your potential, your outward appearance. So we have the 7 of Swords and the Page of Cups. So the 7 of Swords, traditionally is a card about, I call it the card of when other people are behaving badly, and how, if people have wronged us, how we can just, look, he's mentally tortured in this picture, how we can just allow things out of our control to really make us mentally exhausted and confused and upset. And the lesson behind this card is to sort of meditate, consider when people are behaving badly, how do you behave? I think about this with my son. I gotta admit, the kid gets under my skin. And I don't always behave. His bad behavior can get me going, and it's really counterproductive and not effective and not helpful. So, that's one way I can think of this card playing out in my life. And then I beat myself up over it, and it's just everyday motherhood, but it is sort of mentally torturing because I just feel like all I do is screw up, and I need to try to find a more effective way of dealing with it. So maybe that's my new beginning, to try to be more creative. And again, it's not like I beat him or anything or even yell at him, but I could definitely try a different approach. And that's another part of this card, is that even though it tends to have a negative meaning, there are, I believe in some cases, like I think it's the Anna K Tarot, there's someone and it looks like they're robbing them, so I understand that. But the person's going like up a ladder into a window instead of through the front door. So it does point to, in a positive way, with integrity, trying to find a different approach to a problem instead of sort of storming in the front door. Try a little bit more finesse. Try to figure out a different way in to your situation. And it's paired with the Page of Cups. So this is an offering of love, of emotions. So I kind of like this with the 7 of Swords. So one approach you could take in new beginnings and outward appearances, I had to look again what the first house was, is to try to be a little more sensitive, a little friendlier and warmer. Oh no, I just had something in it, went out of my mind. To try to get in touch more with your intuition and your inner gut, and let that guide you a little more, because overthinking things is just causing you stress. So I would say try not to overthink things and try to come to approach situations with a sense of compassion and warmth just comes to mind. It's nice. That's nice. I like that a lot. I feel a baby. I just do. I'm going to say it. Okay, next house. Not my baby, don't get me wrong. I'm done. Much as I love kids, that ship sailed for me. Okay, second house. What one values tangible assets, material possessions? This reminds me of like the pentacles. These reminded me of like, the first house reminds me of ace energy. This second house is reminding me of pentacles. I should write this down so it'll help me remember. The Fool. Oh, the Knight of Cups. Jeez, okay. So everyone knows I love the Fool card, and that I think the Fool card's at the top of the major arcana because it kind of is relating to this card actually, because in this deck he just looks like mentally tortured. You know what I mean? He's just struggling with his thoughts. It's almost like he's struggling to find the right words to write, like if you were a writer. He's just struggling so much. So I'm focusing on that mental struggle, and what we want to do is a new beginning instead of this mental struggle, to approach it a different way. And this is suggesting a more carefree attitude and understanding that no matter how much you mentally torture yourself and try to figure out every possible scenario and everything that's going to go wrong and to try to make things absolutely perfect, that's the fool. The fool who thinks they can be perfectly balanced all the time and that nothing is right or worth doing until you have that perfection or that balance, because that will literally never happen. It's impossible. And he realizes it's sometimes there's a lot of times there isn't a good time. There's never a good time to have a baby. There's never a good time to move. There's never a good time to have something it's just, there's never a perfect time. And the fool knows he just has to jump in, or else nothing's ever going to happen. So, sorry, I gotta stay focused here. So in the second house, I feel like this means you may want, I really think it means a new job, a new endeavor, and that it's going to be a leap of faith. But what it's bringing in is the Knight of Cups. So it's bringing in emotional satisfaction and good feelings. You want to do something that feels good. You want to change how you earn your money and whatever you're doing to create money for your job, that it's emotionally fulfilling. That's a really, and it goes with this. Instead, new beginnings. You want to bring more emotional happiness with this page, and you want to bring that into your career as well. So I'm already feeling like this Page of Cups is really going to set the tone for this whole reading. So the next house is the third house, and this is about mental activity, communication, writing, siblings, and neighbors. Okay, that's like so random. But okay. My brother is coming in from Laos today. We get to see him once a year, so Six of Swords, travel. Funny. You're funny cards. Oh, I haven't really seen this card yet. It's nice. Mental activity. Communications, writing, siblings, neighbors. And the Page of Wands. Okay, so this is saying the same thing that I was saying for the new beginnings. So Six of Swords is often like physically moving, going from, they say rough water to calm water, but the swords is a card about a suit about thoughts, and the third house is mental activity. So this is moving away from that Seven of Swords that's depicted in this deck in the Druid craft. He's just, mental anguish. And there is an emotional component to this card because they're on water. So it is moving away from something, and I know it doesn't make sense because the 6 is actually before the 7, but just trust me with this. Just go with it. Go with the flow. That's what it's saying, right? Go with the flow. Stop mentally torturing yourself and move to calmer waters. And the way you're going to stop mentally torturing yourself is through the Page of Knight of Cups, okay? And sorry, that was helpful. Something you're passionate about. So the Page of Wands is all about motivation, passion, entrepreneurial energy, making thoughts tangible, work. So you're really out there. I think this new idea of how you want to approach your life and your career, you're really fired up about it. And you're communicating this to people, and you're excited about it. And you're starting to share it with people. And I think maybe even your siblings may somehow play a part in it. I don't know about the neighbor part. Maybe your neighbors are moving away, or you're moving, or your neighbors are moving. So if there was bad blood there, that's going away. That's just something that popped into mind for a few people. Okay, so we're on the 4th house. It's about private life, home, family, and parents. And we have the 5 of Pentacles. That came up for one of the signs for the July reading. Injustice. Private life, home, family, and parents. Well, she's covering her eyes. And it's beautiful out. There's a sun. Although it does look like a dog chasing a rabbit. I'm not really sure what that's all about. But she's hiding behind this tree. She's sort of shielding herself from the sun, from enlightenment. She just doesn't want to, this is a little bit of the 8 of Swords energy, but it's more like there is physical, material help available to you, but you have to be open to it. I feel like some people... I just think some people are unhappy at home, and they're not, probably no one else knows that you're unhappy. But these are all kind of flowing together. I don't know if they're supposed to do that. But this mental agony, stepping out on your own with the Fool, going, moving to a more mentally peaceful, calmer place. And then we have in your private life, there is this issue going on, but justice... I feel like this is just telling you to let go. This is has a sword in it too. So your thoughts, it's like, I think you just have to just let it go and think what goes around comes around, and let the universe or whatever you believe in just let them take care of the people behaving badly and the people, and just sort of let it go. It's not your burden to carry. So I think that's you letting go of resentment about, well, it's family and parents. I mean, some of you, I am so fortunate to have wonderful parents, but I know a lot of people aren't. So maybe letting go of resentment to your parents, your siblings, kind of trying to, yeah, rid yourself of those negative thoughts. I feel like there are a lot of negative thoughts that we're again back to here, ready to release and just open ourselves up to a more emotionally peaceful life. Because if our thoughts aren't peaceful, if we're agitated or hanging on to resentment, we're not going to be happy, because we're just going to be so focused on that mental anguish. And that, and then that way we're missing out on all the beauty that is around us. So let karma deal with those things if you can. Have a little ceremony and let some of that stuff go, because it's better for you, not because it's like that agree to disagree. I think that came up in this week's reading. Agreeing to disagree is very powerful. It's just acknowledging, yep, we're not going to see eye to eye, and sort of letting it go. Okay, the 5th house. Creativity, emotions, romance, children, art, and entertainment. Boy, they pack a lot into these houses. Let's see. The Prince of Swords, which is the Knight. Knight of Swords. And the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the 5 of Pentacles again, and it's plaguing, well, this is children, romance, creativity. I feel like the children kind of goes with the 4th house, private life, home, family, parents. So I'm not surprised to see it overlapping. Whoops, sorry. And you can see all the beautiful glowing, but she's stuck behind this tree. If she just peeked around the side of the tree, she would see that there's warmth and maybe, I feel like some people don't think that they have the support of their families, but I think they have it more than they realize, but probably the families just don't realize, because they seem okay on the outside, that they're really everything around them seems fine, but that they're struggling, and it's a communication issue. So the Prince of Swords, this is the Knight, so change in thinking. It's usually a swift change in thinking. Swords are air signs, so it's fast moving. Creativity, emotions. So it's funny, in the House of Emotions, we have a sword, which is more your head. So it's almost like you're approaching, that you're approaching your feelings and romance and relationships with your family and creativity from a thought point of view than an emotions point of view, from a sword point of view instead of a cups point of view. And we have this theme playing out, because we have the water. We have the 6 of Swords is kind of an embodiment of that. Justice stands on the rocks as the water goes by her untouched. And what we said in the New Beginnings one is that we're going to stop with the mental, we're overthinking, and sort of go more with what feels right. And now that doesn't mean just do anything that feels right. I mean, this is done with intelligence, but we're going overboard on the thinking part. So hopefully we're going to change our way of thinking about creativity, emotions, romance, and children, and be led a little more by what we're passionate about, and with warmth and love instead of just analytical. And realize that if we need help, it's there. The Five of Cups is saying it's there, we just are not seeing it. So that's a good thing. It's there. Just have to open yourself. This is a lot about opening up that's going to happen. So the 6th house is health, work, hygiene, employees, and service. These crack me up. I mean, I've heard a million astrology readings, so this isn't new to me, but when I really have to interpret it, I'm like, could they just have so many interesting combinations. Okay, health, work, so it's kind of like a pentacle. I have to translate it into tarot talk for my brain. Hygiene, I guess that's health. Employees, okay, that goes with work, and service. Got it. No, I got it. It makes sense. Sorry. Oh, this is just, okay, it's kind of freaking me out. King of Swords. You know what I kind of feel like is what's going on? And the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. Although it's kind of in both realms here. I'm thinking this is sort of our conscious mind and our subconscious. That's sort of how it's like, this is what we're thinking, but this is what kind of inside us we know we need to do. Except for the Fool, go for the Fool. I love that. Okay, focus, Jen. 6th house, health, work. Well, I'm just going to start with this one because this is inheritance, meaning that you've been thoughtful enough about your family, your work, your goals and dreams, and you've methodically worked toward them for a very long time and are reaping the reward. Sorry, I'm just looking at the health work. I mean, this is a pentacle, so this is a health work card. This is a very strong foundation. You're starting to see the fruits of your labor. And you have, I think this goes back to the 5 of Pentacles, feeling like you don't have the support you need, but this card is saying that you have a very strong foundation of support. If you look at this in, the card itself deals with legacies. I mean, people have been so thoughtful that they have worked very hard to pass something along to the next generation. And it can be material, but it can be good habits, unconditional love, just a place of support and love. So the King of Swords is, if you think of, I like to think of the kings as leaders. So this is the type of leader that leads based on facts. So he will have all the data. He will make sure he is very thorough and knows and does his research and knows everything he's talking about. He's not just going to start shooting off at the mouth without being able to have evidence behind what he's saying, whether it's, numbers or he's a factual person and a truthful person. So I would say in the work category, I think a way to be able to sort of bring the Fool energy in. And I know we want to get away of overthinking things, but if you can really do up an official business plan, do some goals, write down some goals, really research everything you want to do, get an idea of how much it's going to cost, what other people do, and then you can maybe make the Fool, the leap of faith with the Fool. It's a way of doing it without feeling like you're just blindly, it's just a smart way to do it. So, and then you can talk to maybe your family. You're like, I'm quitting my job and becoming a musician. I want to learn how to play, they're not the bongos, but that single drum. I know it's crazy. I'm not going to quit my job and do it, but, it would be sort of like, I'm going to quit my job and become an artist. I'm going to quit my job. And it's what you want to do and you love it, but other people maybe you're not so supportive. Or actually, I think you're the one holding yourself back with these Five of Pentacles, and you are not seeing that you'll be totally supportive. They may disagree with you, but that goes back to the agree to disagree. It doesn't mean they're not going to support you. There's a big difference there. Okay, I'm going to move along. The 7th house, relationships, marriage, and partnerships, contracts. Ooh, 10 of Cups. Wow. And Temperance. Happy family card. See, happy family. It keeps, you're so well supported. This is relationships, marriage, partnerships, contracts. Look at, you're very well supportive, and there's a lot of love. And I think you're just worried about how to balance everything that's going on. You don't want to shake up your happy family. But if there was like a partner, maybe this King of Swords is a partner you're considering. Like a wealthy backer. That kind of makes sense. You're just having a hard, we're just having a hard time. It's a transition period. That's what I want. It's a transitional time in our lives, and it's just, there's sort of a lot to think about and a lot to juggle, and our minds are getting a little away with us. But we also are so emotionally happy, and we know we're doing the right thing. So it's a little tricky for us right now. The 7th, 8th house, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Sex, death, legacies, the occult, external influences. Well, all right, 8th house. I like this house. All right. The Chariot. Yeah, nice. So we have a double 7 of Swords. Sex, death, legacies, the occult. I think we overthink. And when it comes to really sex is what I think. That we're overthinking something and we're afraid someone's going to take advantage of us. So this card, if you look at this card, the Chariot, they have the black and white horse. And you can think of this as, say these horses, take off on you. Something spooks them and the reins rip out of your hands. Well, you can either try to grab the reins again and steer these horses and take control, or you can just sit there and let your life, just go through life reacting to events instead of trying to take charge. Horses are they have a very strong, their herd animal, fight or flight reflex. So are you going to just be fearful and run away from things and react to things, or are you going to take charge and steer your course the way you want it to go? You know, this is sort of think of the black and white horse as like the devil and angel on your shoulder. And this struggle, boy, there's this struggle we're having right now. And I think the one that's going to win is the one that feeds our soul and our happiness. But we're struggling here. We're struggling. And with the legacies, I still think you're afraid, like, I don't know. You're just really struggling with this. And even though as much as you know it's the right thing to do for you, you're still like, oh, I don't know. Are people going to support me? Is someone going to take advantage of me? Let's see. The 9th house. Oh, going back to this, just with the, I do think we're opening up to more love in our life, but it's mentally difficult for us. I just have to say that. Okay, 9th house, higher education, law, philosophy, religion, dreams, long distance travel, higher mind. Okay, I think this is the Sagittarius house. Temperance, we have double temperance on the table, and the hermit. God, why do I always get, I don't like the temperance card because it's like, I feel like it's like, ugh, okay, I know I have to be good. Like, I don't know why I have this negative feeling with this card, but when I do work on having temperance and balance, like, my life is so much better. So I don't know why I fight it. Maybe that's kind of what we're fighting. Yeah, that duality, I think it's just the nature of human beings. It's always going to be a struggle. And, this is the house of Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarian, of philosophy, and that's what I'm just doing, oh, but it's such a struggle, but I know I should, and trying to let that go and just be calm and centered. And then you have temperance, it's like we're overthinking it and making it more complicated. Yep, so the hermit plays right into that, right? We're turning within, trying to find enlightenment. I think this is a profound change coming at a very, very deep level. And we're going to make some changes in the material world that are going to pretty significantly, even if they're little, change how we live our lives. Because we're done doing things just for the sake of doing them, just because we're going along for the ride instead of steering our own course. The 10th house, public life, career. I think these are all like mixed together. Profession, ambitions, honors, public life, career, death. Yes, that makes sense. And the 6th, okay, got it. We want a complete change in, what's the 10th house? Public life, career, profession, ambitions, honors. What we valued before, whether it was getting promotions, having a certain title, having a certain salary, a certain grade level at work, we don't want that anymore. Those things that we wanted, we don't want anymore. I mean, could it be, do you really need to do something? You're just realizing external accolades, they're not the things you necessarily want external accolades for. And your past or your children are going to play a significant part in this. And I think this came up in the last reading. The 6 of Cups has been showing its head lately. So it's either children, people coming into your life that you used to know. I want to go back to that King of Swords guy. I feel like that's a guy coming in, or that's a part of the situation. Your children may give you an idea. I feel like this is almost our younger self connecting to our older self and back, like healing your inner child. I just got the chills, so I think that's right. And it results in the star. Like, what do you wish for? What do you want? Remember, like the child's going, but remember, look back and remember what your dreams were and go for it. Magical. This is a magical reading. In the 11th house, friends, associations, groups, hopes, and wishes. If we get the star card, I'll freak out. The High Priestess. We want to follow our intuition, what our gut tells us we want. That's going to bring us fulfillment, not what our brain tells us. And the Emperor. I'm feeling like this leads directly back to the Chariot, and that we want to be the leader. In our own life, and not just go along with the flow and let our friends or our work or just society in general tell us what our hopes and dreams and wishes should be. We are going to decide what our own hopes and dreams and wishes are. We are going to define them. We are going to take the reins and steer. Even if we have to wrestle with our thoughts versus our emotions and our anxieties, we are going to lead ourselves in the direction we want to go. I think the Emperor gets a bad rap because we have so many bad leaders out there in the world. But this man is someone you want to emulate, whether you're a man or a woman. He leads with all the best, the positive side of this card, and I do believe it is the positive side. He leads with all the best qualities of the kings. He's compassionate like the King of Cups. He's intelligent and truthful like the King of Swords. He's methodical and grounded like the King of Pentacles. And he's enthusiastic like the King of Wands. And the 12th house, the unconscious mind, karma, secrets, hidden limitations. Hidden limitations. The Queen of Pentacles and the Tower. I love seeing the Tower in this reading. I know people are thinking I'm crazy, but I've learned to embrace these cards that usually make us cringe. Yes, we need the Tower to come down in our unconscious mind. We need to stop limiting ourselves and break free. I think that's what this whole reading is about. And remember, you can do that in a thoughtful, grounded, methodical manner. You don't have to, this doesn't have to, the leap of faith doesn't have to be again, the fool knows the risk he's taking and the gamble he's taking. She's very grounded. So for some reason we have ourselves thinking that this is like sort of a crazy idea, and no one's going to support it. No one's going to like our idea. But it doesn't mean you have to quit your job and do this, but to start doing, to start the process and to start steering your course in the direction you want it to go. But we do know absolutely that a transformation is at hand. And, you know, we're going to start a new fool's journey, even though I put this at the top. And we're going to follow we're going to do it with compassion and follow our intuition more. This was a cool reading. I'm inspired. Yeah, transformation is at hand. Thank you for watching. I have done monthly horoscope specific July readings, so I have those done. I'll be uploading them in the near future. And happy solstice to everyone. And I really appreciate your support. Have a good day. Bye.